founders and owners across ocean and energy from all over the world. Joining me in studio today from the Netherlands is Marina Jujuraki, co-founder and CFO of eShip Finance. She has a mixed base between Greece and the Netherlands, working everywhere around the world. Marina has more than 30 years of experience in the banking and ship finance industry. Her background includes roles in Greyhound Maritime Services, Bank Franco Hellenic, followed by 20 years as Eurobank, establishing the shipping finance department, loans administration, and later on a specialized shipping retail branch of the bank. Handling over the last 15 years a loan portfolio of shipping clients, private banking needs, investments, and deposits. In 2014, she joined as a partner at Dagmar Navigation before establishing eShip Finance in 2018. Welcome.
Hello, it's been fantastic. Thank you for this nice invitation.
And thank you for joining us. Marina, can you start by explaining to us and the non-finance people out there what eShip Finance is focusing on?
Yes, we created together with my partners, Dag Finlund, Tarun Gulati, and Aparna Gulati, eShip Finance to facilitate the ship finance area. And facilitating for us means making it easier for someone to come online, on board, on the platform, create their project where they put the basic things about the asset being the vessel, and what is the need for them to acquire it. Do they need a debt? Do they need a loan, buy a debt? Do they need equity? Do they need support, consulting? So they can come online, describe a bit their project, and from then on, we assist them in preparing a full-blown proposal that can be taken by investors who are interested in the shipping sectors. And investors can be banks, can be funds, can be private offices, many different types we've seen during the years we started eShip Finance, and we match the best solution, what will fit the strategy of the person who would like to invest in buying a vessel and managing a vessel. And on the other side, what is the strategy of the person who would like to invest in such a project and just get a return. So we are there in the middle to do these two parties work the best way it can be for both, with risk that they can both take and feel comfortable with.
And finance heavy asset industries like the maritime in the world where we're going through so many crazy challenges and changes at the
Correct.
same time, of course, is sometimes extreme. So I want to tap into from the financial part and from your journey, like the future footprint focus, because working on building the company today, if you look years ahead, you're well into retirement. Can you describe to me, if you have achieved your vision and commitment for the future, which footprint is it that you expect and wish to have left behind doing your work, building your company?
Yes. My wish is that this will facilitate the business, will make it easier, quicker, faster, and with less energy consumption, meaning big offices, meetings, and dragging on to create this proposal, the initial one. It's the business that I've been through my whole career. And I know what are the challenges sitting in a big office with the overheads, with delays, and all this. You try to make it in a faster way, cleaner way, and straightforward for everybody to reach out and do it. So that's what I would also like to do, to be a facilitator in creating a business that it is easier to reach.
which is of course, especially for those who aim for pioneering the change within maritime, of course, more simplified, effective access to finance is essential.
Yes.
And then I wanted to learn more about your kind of inner purpose and drive, Marina. What is it that initiated your personal commitment and the journey to become an entrepreneur in a world where there traditionally hasn't been so many female founders?
What initiated it? Yes. Actually, I was very young when I. There is a message that device struggling to record.
Oh, wait. Let's see here.
It's not recording or yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Because I think it seems you're frozen from here.
Yeah, it is. This may be due to high load on your device. Try closing all other apps. Could it be me then? I don't have any
Maybe. I
app.
think I closed my apps already.
Let me see. Let me close mine. Yeah. Cancel. Do I have anything else?
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, then it's all good. So
Yeah.
we will just
Repeat the question. Now, yeah.
yeah, we will take that one. The other part we can just keep, and then we will just cut that part in between there. So no
Okay.
worries. Okay, great. Okay. So I'm very curious to hear, Marina, because we are both coming from the maritime side of ocean industries where there has traditionally been few female founders. And I wanted to learn a bit about what initiated your personal and commitment and the journey to become an entrepreneur. And then if you have some insights for us, what has been kind of the biggest challenges or surprises or achievements over the years since you became a founder?
Okay, since I became a founder, yes. Being in an institution such as a bank, you always have the security, quote unquote security, because you always want to be there on top, and you have to challenge yourself both with the internal and external situations that come along your path. But you do feel that you have a quite big organization behind you. You have your social security, you have your monthly payments that come in. You're able to structure a bit your life financially and organize it also practically when you are in such a position and such a job. When you leave this space and you become an entrepreneur, all this changes. You have the challenge of being up to date, being close to the market, being close to the clients, creating business. There is a daily additional, let's say, fight to be present and get the closer to the business and be there for your clients, especially when there is such a competition. As we all know, most of the banks have closed down shipping banks that were doing shipping finance. There are departments, depending on the market, some of them just dropped completely out, others have made it smaller. So there's a lot of competition out there for similar practitioners being consultants. So getting there first, it is a challenge. It is a challenge to make sure that you have all your financial side there intact. And also you have to update very quickly, especially when you're talking about a digital platform. It's a constant development. It's nothing that can be static. It's always moving. So I guess those are the main things I would like to point out.
Yeah, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs can resonate with that. But it's especially, I think, interesting in a very kind of a heavy and quite conservative area as ship finance.
Yes.
Yeah. And and how did you take this plunge? What initiated that personal commitment to actually move from the corporate side into becoming an entrepreneur?
Yeah, actually, it was my partner who really nagged me and said, "Come on, we have the tools, we have the knowledge, we have the experience, we have a broad, let's say, circle of clients, entrepreneurs that we can work with. We can do that, and let's." Give it a go. And that's when we started in 14 with Dagmar. And then as we saw that it was going well and we were having a good business setup, we said, well, how can we help in general this business to evolve? And since everything is going so fast, even at the time in 2018, although AI was not so present in our lives, still, the digital side was present. Of course, as you very well pointed out, it is a very conservative market. Not easy to have any of the entrepreneurs and the investors to go online and look at projects or create their own project. Or even when we contact the younger generation, because families, shipping families, they tend to be, some of them also, they're not all big corporates. There are many small family owned companies in shipping. And when the next generations come in, the younger generation, which are more technical savvy, still you tell them, why don't you go online and prepare your project? Come on, we can talk about it. I'll give you the main details. Come on, don't go there. So it is very difficult to break through that.
Yeah,
And it needs persistent work, and you have to be there on top of it all the time.
yeah, because it's more than just, changing from a service to another. It's really a large human mind shift, really.
Correct.
It's
Yes, all right.
it's a very different world. I think that we've seen it in some ways, before COVID hit, we struggled with it for I mean decades, even with the whole format of digital meetings.
Okay. That was a big breakthrough, I can tell you. Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of the same that when COVID hit, then we had to have digital meetings. So all of a sudden we had like a woof, a breakthrough on
That
people
helped
just
us a lot.
understanding. It doesn't
True.
help to just resist. You have to actually jump in, adapt, and make the best of it, right?
Yeah, correct. And it
And
is true. Actually, COVID helped us a lot with our work, a lot, because even before that, they would say, Hama, let's have a meeting online. Since we are traveling a lot, our base is most of the time in the Netherlands, but also in Greece. And then we do travel wherever, there is our client and we need to be there. Let's say in a few days, we will be in Oslo for North Shipping, and we have also meetings there. Or we would go to Hamburg to have some meetings there, or we would be in Singapore or New York. So I would say, come on, let's have a meeting to speed up the process. No, it's better you come to the office. But after COVID, all this changed. Yes, it became very quick and very easy to go online and talk. That was a small step on digitalizing the shipping business. Yes.
and you mentioned your partner that pushed you to take the plunge to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Let's hear a bit more about your door openers. Which are the supporters that have really paid it forward from the earlier days, and enabling each finance in you to get to where you are today? And then I'm thinking both among, customers who were first movers, partners that have been critical in door opening.
Yes, correct. That is true. Yes. Very early on, when because I was quite young when I finished. Uh, Young, I mean, I was 19 when I had my bachelor degree, which was very early at the time. Usually people start their bachelor degree at 19.
Yeah.
And, a woman and so young in an industry which is male dominated, or was male dominated, that has changed. It was very difficult. So yes, it was a family that I was very close to, that were ship owners, a small family that introduced me to their circle, and that's how I got my first job. They said, okay, let's give you the chance, to start working in an office. And of course, I started working as a secretary and telephone operator. I didn't go immediately into relationship manager. But the nice thing was that it was an office where they would accept people, men or women, didn't make any difference, and allow them to grow in there. So they gave me the chance, apart from doing the secretarial job that I was doing at the beginning, to do other research. So I started working with developing a database, so we could have a database for the insurances of the fleet that we were financing, and then a database for the S&P. So allow me to do that, buy a software and develop the software was a big thing. And that was definitely a door opener and mind opener for me, how you can evolve. And then I was lucky to be asked by a bank that was Bank Franco-Hellenic, that were expanding their shipping department, to join them because I had built a very good name with Greyhound. So they saw that, oh, that is a nice person to join our team as we're growing, and that's how I moved on. And the same happened with Eurobank. Eurobank started with a shipping manager, the shipping department, and he called me and he said, I hear you have a good name and we can work maybe together, come over. And that's how I joined again. So yes, it was, of course, people always that help you. But I must say that the hard work and being present at your work did help a lot also in my career. What I did and how I took all the opportunities that they were given to me and I worked on them. And that's what really helped me also make the next steps, I think, and build the name that I did in the shipping industry.
Exactly. Also, I mean, it's a very relationship-based
It
industry. I
is.
mean, we know that, and it's like you have the strength and the challenge that's coming from that. But of course, then we really see that with integrity and that mindset that a lot of people like you have with, also not just filling the role that you come into, but making it bigger, taking that,
Yeah, I think that the
taking that
nicest thing I've heard from
responsibility.
one of my clients was that it's nice working with you because you don't take the part of the bank. You're not there, strict, this is the bank rules, or you don't take my part that this is my client, but you're trying to join this and find the best path, moving forward and really creating a very strong relationship. And that's what we appreciate about working with you. And that's also something that I saw when I left the bank, that my clients, that I felt that they wouldn't need an external consultant or external CFO to their company. They would call me and they would say, can you please advise me and help me? Well, I said, you have a relationship with the bank. Yes, but it's different having you, consulting me and helping me and giving me, the different aspects and how to approach it in a better way, which was actually what I was doing also while I was in the bank. When I had a meeting with a client, I understand where you're coming from. I understand your needs. Let's try to combine also the policy and what the bank is having and how far the bank can go with you. And let's see where we can find the point to meet here and move forward together and grow together. So yeah, that's what I took out of it, and that's what I continue doing also now in my business when we meet people, how to help them grow their business while also understanding the financial institution or fund who is on the other side and their strategy, their philosophy, and try to match it. It is a very sensitive thing. You think, oh yeah, it's easy. They want to do business, they will do it anyway. But really putting characters together and strategies and philosophies, it needs, fine tuning, I would call it.
Exactly. And moving this into more digital sphere, which actors is it that have been the pioneers, like customers and partners who were early movers to get in and start working with eShip Finance?
Which, not not many, as I said. It's not easy to do that. They do. The people who know us, that they still do call us. Let's put it this way. They want to do the business offline. The people who do come online are the ones that we meet at the conferences, that the travels that we do, and we say, you know, we have a first contact and meet and exchange cards, and then we say, why don't you try online what you want, and let's pick it up from there and move forward. So those are the ones who will really go into and look into it. Otherwise, the established relationships, no, they will not use a digital platform when they know you. They want the personal relationship.
Yeah, so they want the personal concierge part of it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting because I see a lot of similarities with the work with Tool.
Yeah.
That, you know, we have a
I'm
platform
sure.
to curate and matchmake resources, but people tend to want that personal touch. But then, of course, leaning and utilizing the data that is in the platform. So,
Correct.
yeah. So it's super interesting. I think there are a lot of parallel,
Yes.
relevant topics on that. And I mean, a natural follow-up on that. What do you need on the growth stage of eShip Finance today? Can you share, like, who are the typical ideal type of partners and customers, or the segments of ship owners that you're seeking to team up with? Are there specific areas or segments where you see there is a higher appetite for doing this digital? And what type of resources is it that is needed for your growth onwards?
Yeah. Well, on the side of the borrowers and our clients, the ship owners, let's say, or the people who want to become ship owners, they just need to onboard if they don't have direct access to us and talk to us and say, come on, let's talk about it, as I said. And although we started eShip Finance as a debt, clearly debt platform, meaning to explain for all our viewers that you go online and you find an institution that can give you a loan, we ended up evolving the platform very soon because the needs were much different than just getting a loan. Others wanted equity partners, meaning they wanted people to come and invest as a partner in there. Or we had a request for people who wanted to sell altogether their company. They didn't want to be anymore in this market, or they had a big group with different segments. Segments can be dry cargo, tanker, offshore, container, because a big group can have all these different segments. So they would say, I don't want this segment anymore. I don't see it doing well. Can you find somebody to acquire it? So we got into mergers and acquisition very quickly on without, you know, because it is such a broad market and you have so many relationships, you see that you evolve and you change your scope very early on to adjust to the needs of your clients. So that's on the client based. On the side of what is our next step forward is that we are talking with several parties. We want to create a fund or have an independent fund allocating an amount to projects that will be there to be facilitated quicker than you can go out in the market and get the term sheet. So that's what we are really seeking, a solid partner that we can create a strategy, because together as partners we have over 150 years of experience in ship finance. And also apart from that, the experience, we have very good names in the market that we don't want, of course, to jeopardize the name that you have, that you understand the business and you want to create good, healthy business. So we want a partner that can join us in this, let's say, a new venture that we're trying to do and expand, and can be there in order to create this facilitation also to our clients, to have this intermediate financing, let's say, until we find the better match to refinance it and give it to a bank, or stay with us until the term, because the term of loans is around 5 years usually. And that is what we need now to find from the people we are talking and the funds we are talking, who is the best match to do this.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And it's, I mean, that's actually straight into what I was going to ask next, which is, what are the challenges and plan where you need new partners in now, and you will still have the focus solely on the ship financing, or are you also looking
Actually,
into
that's a very good
other aspects?
question. You are one step ahead always. You have built quite an experience. Well, true. We have, yes, we have requests to look into infrastructure projects also. We even had the touch of real estate from some sides. How can we evolve this? But yeah, one step at a time. There's a lot out there, and there's an amazing way to grow if, yeah, you have, let's say, the time to do everything. And of course, the resources, because all this needs a lot of resources to be able to facilitate the requests we've been getting. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, the reason why I'm asking is, of course, we work with some founders who are building new shipping companies, right, in different segments. But then we're also working with a number of innovators that are building infrastructure related solution. It can be containerized solutions that is not really a ship, but it's going to go on a ship.
Yes, correct.
And where it's also a very different world than the classical startup venture capital financing, where you really would need kind of to maybe mix corporate VC and those kind of more
Correct.
entrepreneurial resources with something which is more long-term industrial focused with the competencies and yeah,
Yeah.
the kind of, it's because it's a quite a bit of a different ball game when we are working with funding and building stuff that is going to move and
Yeah.
get out on the sea.
That is where I say that you need that's what we are seeking to find, a good, strong partner with a mindset that can look into different projects, different areas like the ones you described, and be there ready to understand the risk and go with it. But it is not something you can do from one day to another. It is something that needs work and persistence. And as I said, an open mind apart from having the financing, the fund behind to support such ideas.
And I mean, it's probably, I mean, it might be sensitive so that you can't respond to it, but are there any specific capabilities of who would be such kind of ideal partners to build a funding structure?
The ideal partners would be funds. We really need some funds that they have that in their strategy, that they are open to allocate money, because financing maritime was always considered very risky. I was recently, because I have joined last 2 years the boardroom, which is a lady who created it in Switzerland, actually, a Greek lady, to support women leaders that they would like to enter boardrooms. It's quite difficult to get a board position for women. So I did join this in order to find out what do I need to do that, because it's something that I would love to do in my career. The knowledge that I have acquired, both on the financing side and the relationship building side, to do it by being again in a boardroom with a company. I think that I have a lot to give there. So I was sitting next to a gentleman, and we were discussing about maritime, and he was actually the CEO of a bank. He said, I would never allow my bank to do ship finance. I said, oh, that's interesting. Can you please elaborate on that? Because I'd love to hear why is it such, clear cut, never. He didn't even argue. He said, well, I'm just saying you will not change my mind. Okay, I said, that's fine. But that is actually, I'm saying that I heard it again now in 2024. It was something that I was hearing very early on in my career, even being in a bank and creating, as I said, from early on, the business, the ship desk, the shipping department was a big struggle. We always had the argument, we can make a lot more money in other markets than we can do in shipping. Why should we allocate funds to shipping. Within a bank, that was building a department. And so it was a struggle there. I can tell you a very big one to show them why it is a profitable business, why you need to have that business in the bank. And still, it took us all the years that I was there that they insisted that we were self-funded. And that was the biggest challenge for my job, that apart from giving out loans, I had to be there with my clients, attracting deposits enough to fund our portfolio, which we did very successfully. At many points, we had 3 times the deposits of our portfolio in the bank. And that was because of our hard work, our personal hard work, not the private banking or anybody else. So, and that's why one part of my career was to build a dedicated shipping branch. So we can have our clients there, have all their operating business, their accounts, their transfers, which is a very big part for shipping. You have payments all over the world all the time in all different currencies. And to be able to handle their time deposits, because they want them there with very good rates and very good returns, which of course we were utilizing to support again the loans. That was a very big challenge, and that really strengthened my personality, I can tell you, and my private banking skills apart from my ship finance skills. So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question or went in different areas, but many challenges out there, but very interesting business. That's, yeah, really keeps you on your toes all the time.
And all of this that you mentioned and share about your background, it requires strength. And we believe that strength is really also built not just on the kind of the classical perspective of strength, like brutality, etc., but also through openness, sharing our experiences, sharing our vulnerabilities, and being able to just be ourselves. And
Yes.
I wonder if you can share with our audience today one of your own personal biggest challenges, how you work to overcome it, and if you have acquired some good life hacks and advice that you think can be useful to share with other founders and women out there to inspire their journeys.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think the biggest challenge was to be in a business that requires you to be there 24/7, because that doesn't stop, even if you are in a bank or now as an entrepreneur, that you have to be there, and weekends, and it is a business that is constantly moving, and there you have to act on the spot. It's very quickly moving. And also raising 3 children. That was yeah, sometimes I must say there was a lot of things in my hands to juggle and do at the same time, whether it was attend the school meeting and see the professors and get the grades. Well, at the same time, I had to be back in half an hour in the center of Athens and see the credit committee and persuade them that the business, that my client and the loan that he wanted was a safe and non-risk, and be there and argue. So that was something, yeah, that I had to change roles very quickly and be in 2 places at the same time or in a very short period. That was for me a very big challenge, I can tell you.
And did you acquire some really cool untraditional hacks to make that work?
Keep a big smile. Try to, yeah. Something I acquired lately, not then, meditation, in order to start breathing in between and be able to give your energy to a different area than completely different that you were before, and actually being focused and being present in every situation. That's what you really have to do. A hack is, yeah, just be present, smile, breathe deeply. For me, that really helped me in every situation. When I lost my breathing, when I stopped breathing, which I realized that we do very often when we are under stress, and that we start getting shorter breath, that's when you really start struggling even more with the situation you have in front of you. Not easy. It sounds very easy and very simple, but it's not. to try and be there focused without having your mind with what is all going around you and all the other things you have to work with at the same time.
Yeah. So deep presence and breath.
Presence, yeah, be present there with the situation. Whether it's a credit committee, you have to be there present. Where it's your client and you're talking to him, you have to be very present. Just listen to it and not trying to expand to different areas or interrupt as much as you can. When you're with your children, you have to be there with your children, with your family, with your partner. Whoever is there with you, it's very important that you are with him, her, or them at the time. Not easy, I can tell you. Try it even for a few minutes. You will see. Try talking to your partner now on the phone and just be with him for 2 minutes without saying, but I have to do. No, no, it's not easy.
No. Oh, it's tough, but I think worth it.
It is worth it. You will see quite a change in all the relationships when you do that. I'm really working on it still. Not
Excellent. I
easy.
think that's a great hack to pay it forward. And in other ways of like paying it forward, I mean, we all have resources when we build our companies. We all need resources, but each of us also represent resources for others. And I wondered if you can share with me, when in the context of entrepreneurs and innovators out there, which kind of resources can you represent or enable towards other founders with relevant solutions for your operations? Who could you support in various ways?
Well, as I said before, I would love to do that. And that's why I've been working on that too for the last 2 years and following up on modules and listening to speakers and joining cases of boardrooms, because I'd like to do that for new innovators, join their board, be there with them and help them and give them my advice and my experience if I can, to show them, the difficulties and how I can also support them in growing.
Hmm. That is an amazing contribution for a lucky founder. So let's try to find her. And then I wonder, I mean, I feel that the reason also why I started this initiative with two female founders, mapping the female founders of the ocean and energy world, and now also putting together the
Amazing.
Wavemaker podcast and our global collective of founders and owners, is of course that I want to use myself to both bring out more inspiration, more resources out there. And I feel that I have, over many years, I have been so inspired by other women and by
Yeah.
other change makers. And if you are to like pick one champion, which specific female founder or owner would you like to have featured with us on the Wavemaker podcast that you would like to hear the same kind of storytelling and insight?
Yeah, I would love. Actually, there is a woman that I really look up to, and for the big change that she did in her career, from what I understand, for the not enough information I can get about her, is Maria Angelikousis. She's a Greek woman ship owner, one of the largest shipping companies in Greece and in the world.
Yes.
She has a background as a doctor, and when her father, who was an amazing man, to see how he continued his shipping company and grew it after he took it over from his father, he suddenly passed away. She took over, and not only she took over, but she continues to evolve that company, grow it, making it even better. So really, I would love to hear, the challenges and the way, and coming from a different sector and suddenly taking such an empire, really a very strong company, and continuing and growing it. For me, yes, it is a woman I really look up to and I admire for the work that she's doing every day, every moment.
Thank you so much. And I will definitely try to make sure we get her on the Wavemaker. I think that would be an amazing inspiration and a lot of insights for
Oh,
women on
yes,
all different levels.
I think so, yeah.
And then, so that's kind of the top. And then when we look at kind of the seeds that we're planting, looking at the talent part of this,
Yes,
because we now are in a position where maritime needs a lot more talents. We are struggling to get talents. We're competing with so many other industries that are closer to our youth in their everyday
Yes.
lives.
Yes.
And we really want to open up our industries for talents, where I think that, women and entrepreneurship is a really good path
Mhm.
to open up that gateway of women founders being able to inspire more talents to join. But as we are approaching the talents, more on the generic personal part, what would you say are the key kind of traits, skills, and capabilities for young people that are entering our sectors? What is it that we really need? What are like the type of humans that we really need? And do you have any really cool advice for young talents who are listening in today to get them
Yeah.
into shipping?
Well, for the young talents, I would say that they have to try the maritime business. They just have to. It's such a diverse, open business. We have that definitely would not allow you to get bored one instant when you get into it. For me, that was the biggest thing about entering the maritime business. Okay, from the ship finance, that every case, every personality, every person that I came across was different. Even with the same client, every vessel, every project was completely different. And that I think is the beauty, that and when you get into it and you enter this business, it is something that gets into your blood, if I can say it. It is the sea. It is something about the ocean and the blue ocean. And there are so many aspects that, especially the younger generation, that they are so also sensitive about the environment in the sea. They have so much to give, and they should be there. Their energy is their biggest strength, I must say. Their open-mindedness. I see it from my children and even my grandchildren now, how different the minds are, how open they are. And that's what we really need in the maritime business, this new energy, this new open-mindedness, this caring that they have for the environment, for the blue ocean. That's what we really need. That's what they have to let out and really give us this energy. Don't hold it back from us. We need it.
Perfect. Thank you. That's a great way to rounding off this conversation. Marina, thank you so much for taking time. I know you
Thank
have
you.
an incredibly busy life and job, and I
We all
really look
do. We
forward
all
to
do.
hearing you unfold.
Well, I'm not different, I know. That's why I respect everybody's time.
Thank you, and see you
Thank
soon.
you.
And to all of you listening or watching in today, stay tuned. Feel free to share your comments and questions and input, and we look forward to bring you on board the next episode of Waymaker as well. So, see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
There we go.